If you're using Cricut Design Space, it now has a feature that probably we've all been looking for quite a while, and that is an offset. Now you can do offsets in different ways, so we'll just try text. Okay, once I have something highlighted, offset is up here on your toolbar, and you have some options. You can weld the offset, so we'll just apply that for the minute, and you can see that it's all welded. If I highlight it again, sorry, I need to highlight the offset, and no, I need to highlight the word. We need to go there and not weld it. It will do, just move that one out of the way. It's easier if you start doing things separately, not together. It has, in fact, I'm just going to undo that, and move the happy birthday down here. That is welded, it's all one piece. Okay, let's highlight it again, go to offset, turn the weld off, make it a square for a bit different, and apply it. Now what happens there is each of the letters are separate items. Must be two P's there, unless I've only got one in there, but I can only see one coming up there. Maybe they were too close. So obviously welded together will be the thing that you use most. So let's just delete that one for now. Go back in here and go to offset again. This time I'm going to weld it, and I'm going to do it rounded, and I'm going to make it bigger. So you can see that it's easy to make it bigger. You can, of course, change the color as you're going as well. You can also make it smaller, so you can have an inset. Obviously, if you go too far, it's not going to show. It depends on what you're doing. So let's just... Now I've got to see where I am. It's made it smaller, but not small enough. So let's just try here. But again, that's sort of welded together in letters. Let's just try this. Happy birthday again. I'm going to make it smaller still. Apply that and just see what we've ended up with. We've ended up with it, if we make that yellow so we can see what we're doing, we can highlight both and a line in the center and send the yellow one to the back. It's virtually the same size, so it hasn't really done what we would want it to do. So I must have been too close to the center. Let's just take it down there, -0.6. Apply. It's not working for this because of the spacing of the words. So that is about as good as we get. So you could get it a bit smaller if you wanted. Probably not something you want to do. I'm just going to delete all that. Okay, let's try a shape. Now there are lots of things that you can do with the shape. Yes, it's easy to make an offset on a square or another shape simply by making one a different size. So let's just move this over a bit. I want this square because I wanted a square. I'm just going to pick apply. So on my inner circle now, I don't want it as a cut line. I want it as a draw line with a pen. Or perhaps, I'll just make that yellow so that we can see the big one behind it. Or you might want to make it a foil line. I'm sorry, it's set on my joy, so it won't let me do a foil line. We'll do a fine one. We can do a medium one or a bold one. Or perhaps we want to do several lines of them. We can just keep going with the offset. So we can apply that. We can highlight that offset and we can make that one foil bold. So there are lots of options you can do with that. Or you may want to just take that one out for a minute, and I'll change this back to a cut line. Sorry, need to hit it, don't you? Basic cut. Again, you can do a slice and end up with a frame. There's the frame, which you could always do, but it's just a little simpler now, making sure you get it exactly the size that you want. I do have my images, my measurements set to centimeters. So let's look for birthday and see what we can do with that. That one's already too low. Let's try this one. Okay, so if we go to offset, that looks a bit big. We can just see what it's going to look like. We'll make it rounded. Apply that. And we've just, oh, what did I hit? It is there. No, it's not. It's telling me it's there, but I cannot for the life of me see it, so let me just do that again. Oh, it's turned off. Turned off, you don't see it, do you? There we go. So, oh, this must already have a background. So obviously it's not going to do a, oh, we could do a third background on this. So let's go to the offset. Let's bring it down a little bit. Click apply. Oh, it is just driving me insane. Let me just try it this way. Okay, so we have one image here, which was the, I'm just checking which is the biggest of the two. Okay, so I'm going to hide and keep the biggest of the two and make a third offset. Apply. And then I'll turn that one on. And so you've actually got 3 layers, and the third layer is just all complete. Now there is a little thing in there. If we wanted to get rid of anything like that, we can just hide all contours. And again, it's done that. So there may be things where you just want a full on offset rather than a cut out offset. In this particular one, there are 3 offsets. They are grouped, so we can ungroup them. So you'd end up with 3 offsets with that particular one. So you can do it with images, you can do it with shapes, and you can do it with text. Also easily to create an offset or inset, drawn, cut, anything your machine can do, you can do here. You can score it, you can deboss it, you can engrave it. So you've got lots of options. Great little feature, and brand new. So I recently made some bookmarks which were done in a text. I'll just open that file for a moment. Customize. I'm just going to replace it on my desktop. This was a bookmark that was made. I'm just going to detach that. So I started with the word beautiful. Now I could make that. I can create an offset for that, just a small offset to make it a little bigger. It's a little more complicated, so it's going to take me a moment. Until I can see the apply, I can't apply it. It's not liking that, it must be too fine. Let's try again. No, it's not going to do that. Let's just make a bigger one. Cancel that. So I came up with a shape similar to that. I'm going to go bigger. Apply. It's a welded result and it's just been a little bit difficult. Take the shape. It's working quite well. So I could in fact in this case do that. It's not doing it because I've welded the result apparently, which is a bit disappointing. No, it's not going to do it. So let's just try another couple of shapes together to see if it'll do it on a shape easier. It could just be the text. So let's just make a little, I'm going to align them to the center. No, that's not what I wanted to do, is it? I wanted to align them center horizontally. And I'll take that one up just a bit so it looks a bit more like a roof. I'm going to weld that. So I've got one piece and I'm going to, it's happy to do an offset on that, or even an inset. So let's just go below the bar there and apply. So I've suddenly got 3 layers of that house with no problem at all, but it's not liking the text and I'm not sure why. So let's try that. Let's go up to there and apply it. Oh, there is one in behind there. It's picked up odd bits. Let me see if I've just, basic cut is that one. The pen is that one. That's all the house. So let's try a text and a font. Use that one. And we'll type beautiful. Oh, it helps if you're in the box. B-E-A-U. Beautiful. Okay, like all text fonts, let's do that one out of the way. We need to narrow the gap. I normally go to 0 and then play with it from there. Okay, then I'm going to ungroup the letters. And the L needs to be just a little further over. Actually, the U and the L need to be a little further because the F is poking out there. Okay. And just going to move that back a bit. Okay, happy with that. I'm going to weld that result. And then I'm going to highlight it and see if it will let me do an offset. Okay. Apply. It's obviously just my word. So there I have it. It's cutting that. It's got an offset. I can add some text in there. I'll just bring that to the front, which is the pen one. Yes. Arrange. Bring to front. Okay. This could be just a little bit bigger on this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is duplicate that and duplicate it again and flip it horizontal and then just join the ends. So this is going to fold over a page. So I'm going to align those right through center vertically and then I'm going to weld them. Let's get some color in here so we can see what we're doing. So that becomes, we'll make that orange. We will make this blue so we can see it. I'm just going to group those together. So what would happen is it would fold over and that would sit on top. And then you fold it over the page to make your bookmark. A very simple bookmark. Got the idea from Jennifer Maguire. She used dies to achieve the effect, but you can do it on your Cricut, and very simple. If you're not happy with that, we'll just ungroup that, because it looked like this edge was going to go over a bit, so let's just duplicate that. Oh, duplicating the right thing helps. Okay, duplicate that, take it down here, duplicate, flip, not vertical, undo, flip, horizontal. Okay, you want a reasonable join, but you don't want too much overlap, so it would probably be there, but I think it needs just a tad more than that. So what I could do is weld that and then get a tiny rectangle, and there we go. Just got to get it in the right place, haven't you? And weld all that. You can only weld 2 pieces at a time. So we'll make that yellow so we can see what we're doing again. We can group these again, and now it won't have that overlap on the fold. Now if you're doing this on your maker, of course you could put a fold line in there, from there, oops, and it's a score line, and it would just be a matter of putting it right in the center and down, so it'll fold over. So that's where it would fold over on your page. This would be what you glue on the top, and you fold it over your page, and you've got a cute little bookmark with no trouble at all. You can add people's names, you can make it, resize it. I do suggest if you're going to resize it, that one's 16 centimeters wide, resize it before you do the folded part for it. I love the offset. It's the one thing I really thought that Design Space needed. I've been doing it a whole lot of different other ways to get offsets in other programs, but this makes it so easy. So play with the offset. You can get offset on all of your text, shapes, and you can make it a drawer, you can make it a foil if you've got the foil kit, you can emboss it, deboss it. There's all sorts of options if you've got the right equipment. You are limited on the maker, either you draw it or you cut it, that's it, but sorry, on the Joy, but you have more options on the maker if you have the tools. So have a play with the offset and have fun.